What's going on? YouTube, listen up, young elder gang. This is Dr. Charles P. Winston at you with another banger. Please make sure you like, subscribe and share this video. Fam, I hope this video get at least 100,000 likes. In this video you will find history definitions, scripture information, and best of all what we Americans have been deprived of from the beginning, the truth. Keep in mind, this content used in this video is intended for entertainment, educational and informational purposes only. We will give you the total truth as we best understand it. Today, be sure to hit that like button, young elder gang. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit that bell and don't forget to check back with us every day for new content. This is why you never skip leg day. Because somewhere in the galaxy, there are booty pirates with a Victorian aesthetic and a frankly unhealthy obsession with your glutes. And today they've come to collect. Picture it, the world grinds to a halt. Birds freeze mid-tweet. News anchors valiantly try to say buttocks on live TV without giggling. Out of the darkness float the Gluteons, aliens with bums on their heads and a burning passion for the human posterior. Their message, we come in peace, we desire only your booty. Humanity reacts with a mix of panic, memes and suspiciously vigorous squats. Drones descend, attempting gluteal analysis, only to be chased off by seagulls, pawned in Atlanta, and ultimately duped by plastic mannequins and BBLs. Negotiations devolve into a global debate on the ethics of unsolicited alien butt scans. The solution? Not war, but a planetary dance-off. Aliens twerk, humans laugh, peace is restored. The moral, in space everyone can hear you shake it. It was a Tuesday, a very normal Tuesday, the kind of day that slips by unnoticed, blending into the background of a busy week. The sun rose quietly over the rooftops and the world seemed to move in its usual predictable rhythm. People were drinking coffee, running late for work. Alarm clocks blared, toast popped, and the familiar chaos of the morning routine played out in kitchens and on sidewalks everywhere. Some grumbled about traffic, others scrolled through their phones, barely awake. Then, without warning, the sky went dark, not stormy, but a deep velvety blackness that swallowed the morning light. Shadows stretched across cities, making everything look like a Tim Burton movie. Cars stopped in the middle of the road. Birds went quiet, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Everyone looked up, confused, searching for answers in the unnatural darkness. The cause? Ships. Not the sleek silver spaceships from old sci-fi movies. These were massive, 12 miles long, and impossible to ignore. They looked like floating Gothic cathedrals covered in swirling patterns and glowing purple lights, as if someone had mashed up a haunted castle with a spaceship. They didn't make a sound. They just hung there, silent and imposing, casting enormous shadows over the city. It was terrifying, but also a bit silly, like something a teenager would design after too much sad music and a marathon of horror movies. People stared, mouths open, unsure whether to laugh or scream. On the ground, life screeched to a halt. News anchors pointed at the sky, barely holding it together as they tried to explain the inexplicable. Every channel was live, every reporter scrambling for answers, but no one had any. Social media exploded. Blurry photos, wild theories and memes spread like wildfire. Some people joked about the end of the world, others claimed it was a government experiment gone wrong. Hashtags trended worldwide, and everyone became an instant expert on alien invasions. The mood was a cocktail of panic and mild inconvenience. Should you hide in a bunker or just make tea and wait it out? Some people double-checked their emergency supplies, while others nervously sipped their drinks, trying to pretend this was just another weird news day. For hours, nothing happened. The ships floated, daring us to react. Governments held emergency meetings behind closed doors. Scientists were baffled, staring at their screens, running tests and coming up with more questions than answers. The ships ignored all signals, just looming big and weird. It was the ultimate power move. No threats, no lasers, just presence. Every attempt to communicate was met with silence, as if the ships were waiting for us to make the first move. The world was thrown into chaos by their silent arrival. People panicked, families huddled together, and emergency alerts flashed across the globe. It was the scariest, most confusing Tuesday ever, and nobody knew what would happen next. And things were about to get much, much weirder. The world held its breath, waiting for the next move in a game no one understood. Deep within the shadowy corridors of their long dookie-turd starships, the alien crew moved with purpose, preparing for a mission unlike any other in the galaxy. These were not your typical green men from space. These were the infamous booty pirates, known as the Rear-Renders and the Gluteons, a name whispered across the cosmos. They were short, impossibly thin beings with woolly afros, draped in Victorian space goth coats, their glowing purple eyes shining with a strange, artistic passion. At their helm stood the enigmatic Captain Godfrey, a figure both feared and admired who had a singular burning mission. The Gluteons believed booty was worth its weight in gold. The Gluteons had journeyed an astonishing 1,672 light-years, crossing nebulae and asteroid fields for one peculiar prize, human booty. Not for gold, not for water, nor for any rare element. What they sought was the legendary Gluteus Maximus. On their home planet, everything was flat. Their land, their buildings, they had no backside. The concept of curves was utterly foreign besides their heads, a revelation that would change them forever. The Gluteons claimed they figured out the origin of the buttock and assess that it goes back about 69 trillion years. They have been studying the ramifications of it for about 3 billion years and have been on a quest for booty ever since. They figured if they could harness its essence, they could take over the universe. Everything changed the day they intercepted a broadcast from Earth, a fitness video filled with squats and lunges, social media video of butt everywhere that introduced them to the wonders of the human posterior. From that moment they became obsessed, viewing human butts as the highest form of art, the pinnacle of creativity. They wrote passionate poetry about booty, composed haunting symphonies inspired by curves, and filled their grand gallery of glutes with hundreds of crude sketches and paintings, each one a tribute to the object of their fascination. Their mission was never malicious or threatening, just deeply, almost comically bizarre. They saw themselves as cosmic curators, collectors of butts, not conquerors or invaders. Even their technology reflected their odd quest. No lasers or weapons, just peculiar devices like the sorrow sucker and gloom goggles designed for study of the buttock, not destruction. Their chief scientist, the eccentric Dr. Melancholia Moonglow, invented the Butterlizer, a device capable of measuring jiggle frequency, curvature, and even artistic merit. Human buttocks on the Gluteon's planet called Krakot is like caviar. The Gluteon believe the human buttock is nutritious, providing protein, vitamins, and omega-3 fatty acids. Now, with all preparations complete, the Gluteons stood ready at the airlock, eager to make contact with Earth human and begin their most unusual collection yet. The Gluteons sent their message, and it only made things stranger. A deep, sorrowful voice echoed, "O inhabitants of Earth, we are the Gluteons, we come in peace, we desire only your booty." Around the world, people stared at each other. Did he just say, booty? A funny smell rifled through the air. The absurdity turned fear into disbelief, then laughter. Social media exploded. They hashtagged booty pirates from outer space. Alien booty pirates trended, memes and jokes everywhere. People posted videos shaking their butts at the sky, taunting the aliens. Some humans climbed the highest mountains and buildings just to moon them. News anchors struggled to keep a straight face. Experts debated, did they mean treasure? Was it a translation error? Linguists confirmed, no, they meant butts, which a French-American doctor said with his nose turned up. Humanity's first contact with aliens, and they wanted our backsides. Governments panicked. The rich elites ran, covering their butts as they hid in their underground bunkers. How do you respond to a demand like that? The ship still hovered, silent and imposing. The crisis was cosmic, but wrapped in absurdity. Humanity was scared, confused, and laughing all at once. One comedian on TV said, what kind of booty do they like making a joke out of it? The Gluteons, booty pirates, sent down their acquisition drones. Not scary machines. These looked like wrought iron spiders with sad purple eyes. Their mission: scan, measure, and maybe gently borrow a butt or two. The first attempt, a drone crept up on a jogger, tried to measure, got screamed at and floated away, dejected. Another drone tried to sample a sunbather but was attacked by seagulls and retreated in shame. Another drone tried making an attempt in East Atlanta to collect a Project Chick's buttock but was captured by crackheads who tried to pawn it at the local pawn shop. Another drone tried making an attempt at one of the IG models, but on retrieving the buttock, found out it was a BBL and nothing but silicone. Captain Godfrey was in shock that half of the IG and Facebook model girl's butt are fake. Their most ambitious attempt, the Sorrow Sucker, targeted an African mannequin, successfully acquired its plastic rear and brought it aboard. The Gluteons cheered as if they had discovered truckloads of gold, until they realized it was hollow plastic, just like the BBL models on IG. Captain Godfrey wept into his frilly handkerchief. He had heard stories about the Igigi who came down from Mars to Earth and were successful in getting booty in Genesis chapter 6. But they suffered hardship. They also hacked the human internet and set up a website called Gold for Cheeks. They got a couple hits. They were mostly old ladies and a couple of guys from Atlanta and San Francisco. The website was a bust. Collecting butts was proving much harder than they'd imagined. World leaders gathered in a secret bunker facing the most bizarre crisis ever. The president broke the ice. "Let's address the aliens in the sky. They want our butts." Laughter and groans filled the room. A general confirmed, "Their drones have attempted unsolicited gluteal analysis." The French president declared, "Our posteriors are a symbol of our humanity. We cannot negotiate with these fanny fanatics." Dr. Aris Thorne explained, "It's a cultural misunderstanding. They worship our anatomy, not hostile, just creepy. Their tech is gentle, designed for art, not harm." The German chancellor asked, "So we let them suck our butts for science?" The debate raged: fight, negotiate, or offer a trade. Someone joked about sending them padded pants or our best dancers. The world's most powerful people were stuck debating the diplomatic implications of the human bottom. It was a new low, or maybe a new high, for international relations. As weeks passed, humanity adapted. The Gluteons. Booty pirates became less a threat, more a weird global roommate. The butt became a symbol of identity and defiance. Pop culture went butt-crazy hit songs, alien-proof pants, and reality shows like So You Think You Can Twerk? Gyms filled up with people doing glute workouts. "Twerk like the world depends on it" became a slogan. People greeted each other with friendly pats on the behind. Even kids' games changed. "Don't let the drone scan your bum." The aliens' failed attempts became legendary stories. The Gluteons, booty pirates, in their quest, accidentally united humanity, one butt at a time. Governments couldn't just give in. Operation Cheeky Turn was born. Fight weird with weird. First, visual camouflage cities hung banners of flat things, walls, ironing boards, even pictures of the aliens' own flat species. People wore pants with bookshelf prints to bore the Gluteons. Next, auditory warfare scientists blasted relentlessly R&B and pop music into space, hoping to annoy the gloomy aliens. They played Debut by Experience Unlimited over and over again. Massive Zumba classes were held under the ships, radiating energy and happiness. Finally, direct resistance. People offered drones round objects. Cantaloupes, bowling balls, pumpkins. The drones, confused, took the fruit instead of butts. The pirates' grand gallery of glutes filled up with produce and sporting goods. Deeper questions surfaced. The UN formed the Butt Ethics Committee. Their job figure out the rules for this bizarre situation. Do humans have a right to bodily autonomy in alien encounters? Is it okay for aliens to scan your butt without permission? Philosophers and lawyers debated ethics and consent. The Universal Declaration of Gluteal Rights was drafted. All beings have the right to the security and privacy of their posterior. Insurance companies added alien butt napping clauses. Lawyers specialized in extraterrestrial personal injury. A black market emerged for 3D butt models. The Gluteons, booty pirates, forced humanity to rethink rights and consent in ways no one expected. Months passed in the cold, echoing corridors of the pirate ship. Captain Godfrey, once the terror of the stars, was now at his wits' end, pacing the bridge with a furrowed brow and a heavy heart. The crew was utterly miserable. Earth's relentless pop music, blaring through the ship's speakers day and night, was driving them to the brink of madness. Even the toughest pirates couldn't handle another chorus. Then Dr. Moonglow, the ship's eccentric scientist, had a sudden revelation. "They celebrate their booty," he declared, eyes wide with inspiration. "The art is in the motion, the dance. It's not about collecting, but about moving, expressing and celebrating together." Maybe, just maybe, they didn't need to collect butts at all. Just witness the art of dance and understand its meaning. The Gluteons sent a new message to Earth, their tone hopeful and strange. "We propose an intergalactic dance-off. Let us settle our differences with rhythm, not rivalry." The world was stunned at first, then quickly delighted. News spread like wildfire and excitement buzzed in every corner of the planet. A massive event was organized in record time. The Gluteons, booty pirates, landed awkward and shy, their gothic costumes drawing curious stares from the crowd. Humans and aliens lined up side by side, ready for a dance competition instead of a battle. For the first time they met as equals, not enemies. Humans eagerly taught the aliens the cha-cha, slide and macarena, laughing as the Gluteons struggled to keep up with the catchy beats and funky moves. The Gluteons, with their famously flat bottoms and stiff movements, were terrible dancers. But they tried their best, determined to join the fun. Captain Godfrey's earnest attempt at twerking was so hilariously awkward that it united the entire planet in laughter, breaking the last of the tension. In return, the aliens taught humans the gloomy glide, a slow, mournful shuffle that told stories of distant stars and lonely voyages. The Gluteons discovered that true art of the buttocks is something to be shared, not stolen. They felt a new sense of belonging as they celebrated together. Humanity learned that even the weirdest strangers can become friends on the dance floor, where differences fade and joy takes over. The Gluteons, booty pirates, left Earth with a great story to tell, and some truly questionable dance moves, but also with new friends, DNA from Nubians and a newfound love for the art of dance and the buttock.